All right, so hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have someone very special with us, Arya, who got an All India rank 117 in CLAT PG. And first of all, huge congratulations to you on this achievement, and thank you so much
Thank
for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for inviting me as well. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right, so let me start with this. What is the one thing you think you did differently for your CLAT PG preparation that you believe made the biggest difference to your rank?
Okay, so I believe I did not have like much time in my hand because I around studied in total for 30 days. So my strategy centered around making a plan which is suitable for me, which will work for me at least because I know myself the most. I know which areas I was weak at, I was strong at. So my entire focus was on devising a strategy which is suitable for me and some so first of all, I did not actually follow anyone, or I did not ask any of my seniors or anyone online that how are they preparing for the same. So my plan was to first analyze past year papers. So I think from November 3rd, actually, I had my semester going on along with the CLAT preparation. So around 5th of November, I was done with all of my seminar papers and project submissions of the college. And then I thought of like dedicating all the remaining time to the CLAT since I had around only 1 month in my hand. So, first of all, in the first 2 days, I analyzed past 3 years papers of the CLAT. So, through which I got a fair idea of what kind of questions and what kind of areas CLAT targets. So, because when I study that law individually, I don't have to study the same in its entirety, and I can like focus upon the important areas only since I had a shortage of time. So when I analyzed all the past papers, so one thing is that uh, at first I attempted the 2025 CLAT PG paper, and I scored around 60, I guess, which was a fair score. Because, and also it wasn't that I was aware of everything that was being asked in the exam. I did it on the basis of the prior knowledge I had, or on the basis of whatever I have studied in the past, my 5 year law journey. So but one thing I realized was even if you're not aware about a judgment or a case which is being asked in the question, you can still attempt it, or first on the basis of the passage, and second also on the basis of reasoning, because it's they are not asking very factual questions to you. The examiner wants to examine the knowledge of law, or how a particular section or a provision is applied in a case. So let's say there was a question which said that this and this case, the case, it was a recent case of 2022, and I was not aware of it, or maybe 2023, but the case was about interpreting a provision. So, and recently only we studied interpretation of statutes in our 8th semester. So, I was aware of all the rules of the interpretation. So I knew that okay, if a broader interpretation is given, it's liberal interpretation. If general words and specific meanings are derived, then it just jump generally. So on the basis of such knowledge, you could attempt a question. So first, I analyzed those papers and I made a notes, or like a uh, pointers sort of something, at which areas of laws are important. So broadly, there were constitutional law and criminal law and jurisprudence, environmental law, property law, corporate laws, and etc. So first, I saw that there are two passages from international law, two passages from jurisprudence, and two passages from environmental law. So if I study all these three laws with regards to the areas which are being asked in CLAT, I will be able to attempt all the 30 questions. So first of all, uh, I made this kind of strategy that which laws and which areas I need to touch upon. And then second, my plan was to study all the recent cases first, and then jump onto the laws individually, because when I study the laws first, it gave me again a fair idea of which areas CLAT targets, as well as which areas or which provisions of law are like frequently invoked in recent case laws. Because when I let's say if I started studying constitutional law directly, aimlessly, then I think my entire month would be gone in studying constitution
Yeah.
only, and I won't be able to cover the entire syllabus. So my strategy was to cover more and more in less time. So for that, I think along with the hard work, I needed smart work and a smart plan as well. So that is what I tried to do. And yes, so I in first 10 days I went through all the recent case laws of 2025, 2024. Like not much. In just 1 or 2 days I studied 2024 cases, and I think in just one day I covered few recent cases of 2023. And also I only refer to one source only, because I believe when you study from multiple sources, it creates unnecessary confusion and
Exactly.
burden upon you. So rely on one source and have faith in that one source, and like channelize your energy in one direction. So that is what I prefer doing. So in first 10 days I covered all the recent cases, which again which gave me a fair idea of the important areas of laws. Second, the reasoning or the application of those laws in a particular case law. And lastly, that let's say example specific relief act, like I was in my ninth semester, but in but till then we were not introduced to specific relief act in any of our semesters, though we were like taught some sections in relation to property law and contract law, but the act in itself was not part of our curriculum till then. So but when I studied recent case laws, I think acts like Arbitration Act, Specific Relief Act, I covered major sections through case laws only. So even if later I did not get enough time to cover an act individually, I think I had good enough knowledge to like attempt any question on it if it comes in CLAT. So this way, case laws helped me to proceed. Then I devoted 15 days to studying case to the laws individually. Like I started with international law, environmental law, and jurisprudence. In 2 days, I covered those laws, and only the areas I figured out as important through past year papers analysis and recent case laws. Then I studied constitutional law in 2 days, and then similarly, I've in 15 days I tried to cover all the important laws. And for me, I had a specialization in criminal law and specialization law in my fourth year and currently in fifth year. So I was not very well versed with the corporate laws. So I knew that I did not need to focus much on the laws which I am very well versed with. I need to study things which I am not aware of at all. So now this is something which varies with a person, because everyone has their own strong points and weak points. So according to that, you need to again devise a suitable strategy for yourself. And then in 15 days I covered those, and in 5 days I came to the most important landmark judgments, landmark as well as current judgments, of which I need to know the facts like the precedents and the bench and like sections and
Yeah.
everything. The judgments which I studied in first 10 days were mainly to give me a fair idea of laws and reasonings and everything. And for factual information, I devoted 5 days more. And I think in the last 5 days, I went for the revision. So that was my strategy.
Is quite interesting, and that will be very helpful for the people starting with the preparation as to how to approach them. And when the CLAT PG result was announced, did you actually expect to score this rank? Did you predict this, or was it a surprise to you?
The thing is, since I studied like for not a very long period, so at the outset I was not expecting a very good rank, though I wanted one because my aim was to target a PSU as well. So but due to some personal reasons I could not started preparing like 6 months prior. So after the final submissions of my papers and everything, I gave like 1 month dedicatedly to CLAT. But when I used to study, like with each passing day when I used to attempt a mock, I used to score more than the last mock I attempted, because I knew I had this faith that I target one set of law each day. So when I will attempt a mock next day, obviously a new set of information is added to my storage. So anyhow, it has to go well. So like first of all, I had faith in myself. I think that's the biggest thing. I was so confident that my exam very is going to be well for me, because I know that my strategy is going to work for me. I know myself. So that was the first thing. So when I attempted the paper on the exam day, the questions or the case laws, first there were, I think, 4 to 5 passages that were like picked from the past year papers as it is. So that is again, analyzing the past year papers helped me there a lot, because I knew the concepts, I knew the knew all of those things. And then secondly, all other cases or all other passages which were given in the exam, like except a few or very few, I was familiar with the cases because I studied all of them in the recent cases. So I really got happy that okay, like whatever have I studied is proving to be fruitful for me. But still, like some questions were easy. You could easily eliminate all other three options and you could be confident about an option. But in some questions, options were confusing, and I was confused between two options. So there were many questions like this for me. So after coming back, I was kind of scared. So because there were different opinions. Some said that the exam was easy, some were saying the exam was tricky, and mine was moderate only in the terms of difficulty. So I decided not to check my answers, and I will only verify my score once the final key is released. So I think not even the final key, the revised key is released, because I don't want that correction of answers and marks and everything. So the day the uh, result was about to be announced, just before that the revised final answer key was released, and I uh, scored my marks, and it was around 81 or something. So I got really happy. So kind of I was surprised as well as happy and everything.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that's nice. And when it comes to CLAT PG, it is supposed to be judgment heavy, as you said that you relied on the judgments to even refer to the laws. So how did you approach reading all the Supreme Court and High Court judgments for matlab, that you did effectively without having to think ki how you will cover all of them and all?
Yeah, so one thing I think we need to realize is that the judgments are just a medium to test our knowledge of law. And also, I think it's a good thing, because we know that the judgments which have happened in the recent year are only the ones which are going to come in the exam or given in the form of passages. So if you get a good hold over those judgments, I think it really helps. And as well, it also helps in the way that you don't have to, when you study that particular subject individually, you don't have to go through the entire thing again. Like if I'm studying BNS, I know which cases were in news or are relevant to the exam point, from the exam point of view, or which cases are part of recent judgments. So I don't need to study each and every provision. I can just focus upon those provisions. So judgments help you, I think, in many ways. So I think first of all, you should go through all the judgments of past 3 years, and mainly of the past year. And then you should make some notes, or like write down some pointers that which areas are covered in judgments, as well as which areas CLAT targets, because when you analyze the papers, you get a fair idea of which areas are targeted by the CLAT. So building upon the both, you can make a strategy for you again, and then you can devote uh, how I study is I make small targets for me daily. I don't first I don't make a very heavy target, because I know that will I be able to do that, or will I be not able to do that. So I just make a target which is feasible for me. So every day, like for all 30 days, I made small targets for me, and till the end of the day, my goal used to be that I have to just complete whatever I thought of doing for this day. And in this way only, like doing little things every day, I ended up like covering, I think, all the entire syllabus which was relevant with the CLAT point of view.
Okay,
Yes.
very well. And how many mock tests did you attempt and how did you analyze them?
Yeah, so again, like I didn't have much time. So if I had started like 3 or 4 months prior, I would have preferred giving a mock every day, because this is what helped me in my CLAT UG. So after like preparing for CLAT UG, one thing I realized was whether you study the entire syllabus or not, giving a mock test daily really helps. But when it comes to CLAT PG, you need to have knowledge about the recent case laws and everything. So it's because CLAT UG had different syllabus. So the mock strategy works there very well. But when it comes to CLAT PG, I think you need to have some sort of base and like a sort of set of information to attempt any mock, because any at the end you are going to be asked a recent case law or a landmark judgment or any fact about environmental also, without going without going through those case laws or facts, you won't be able to score in the mock. So my target used to be that first I'll study this much and then I'll attempt a mock, and I even used to predict, okay, now I know these many cases or these many laws, so I'll be able to score this much. So I know that the first mock I gave, not the past year paper, the actual mock I gave, I did not score well. I think it was around 40 or something, but I was not disheartened or demotivated in any way, because I knew that I have very limited knowledge right now, and the questions were very factual, that in this case what was a precedent, who was the judge. So
Yeah,
I mean, I can't even expect myself to know all of these questions beforehand. So I knew that once I'll study all these things by each passing day, I'll be able to score good, and that is what actually happened. I think by the end of 25 to 28 days, I was able to score 90 or something in mocks. And
pretty good.
2 days before also, yeah, I gave a mock, then the score was similar, 93 or something. So I knew that okay, I'll do
It
fairly good
gradually
in the exam.
increased. Yeah, it gradually
Yes,
increased with practice.
exactly.
So, what are the top
Exactly.
three mistakes that you think that CLAT PG aspirants must avoid?
Like as I said, first, just don't hard work aimlessly. You need to smart work as well. So make a devised strategy or a plan which will work for you, for yourself, because you ultimately know, like a person knows himself the most. So I know which areas I am weak at or strong at. For example, like when I was in my that 15 days period where I was studying each law each day. So I did not give like much time to law of contracts and law of torts and interpretation of statutes, because uh, I had done like some I have written some papers on those sub. If you have written some papers on those subjects, if you have done some moods, or even if you are well versed with some subjects, you don't need to like every time devote like much time to each subject. I knew that I am good at these subjects. Like even when I studied these subjects for CLAT UG, I had a good hold over them. I had my notes of that time. I used those notes. So I mean, there were many topics where I did not require to like devote much time, and I only focused on the areas which actually needed practice and my attention. So that is one thing, that make a strategy for you, first thing. And second, that yeah, again, that please do not like blindly follow any advice which other person gives, because that is something that person has done in his or her context. It's not necessary that it will work for you as well. So ultimately you need to figure out your weaknesses and your strong points, and then work in that direction or channelize your energy. And lastly, that like some students who like get really disheartened first when if you are not scoring good at mock, because when I was preparing, some of my friends who did not score good used to come to me and like went out their frustration that we don't feel like proceeding or continuing with it. There's no like result we are getting out of it or something like that. So I used to tell them, see, it's the same case with me, and in fact it's the same case with everyone. Like, you don't score good every time, but you have to be consistent and you have to have faith in yourself. So this things really helps. So yeah.
Okay. So, final question would be that what message would you like to give to the aspirants who didn't clear or who couldn't clear CLAT PG this time and are disheartened?
uh, I would like to say, uh, okay, so the thing is that CLAT is not the only thing your life demands from you. So there
Yeah.
are ample of other opportunities. It's not the final showdown or something that if you missed it, you are you just like everything ended or something. So you can always start again, start afresh, and give it a new try, because this is something I believe very much in, that along with the hard work, exams like CLAT, where the syllabus has no boundaries, luck also plays a very important part. So you can just consider that okay, it was not your day, because any no aspirant is like lesser than any other aspirant. Everyone has given their sweat and blood and everything, because everyone tries their best. No one gives it for fun, right? So
Yes.
it's just that it was not your day. So all you can do is just have faith in yourself and start again. So that
Okay.
is what I did.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing such honest and valuable feedback and insights. And I'm sure this interview would help the upcoming aspirants. And
I
thank you.
hope.
And I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors and the career ahead that lies to you. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much.
joining.
Thanks for inviting, ma'am. Thank you.